Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Experts, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. My name is Jess and we do these videos every single weekday. So if you are new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We have also just surpassed 3,000 subscribers here on the channel, so thank you very much for those of you that join us every single day and stay up to date with what's going on. So let's start off today's video by taking a look at the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is currently sat at $27,560, and we also have Ethereum sat at $1,840. So they are both down around 0.3% at 0.3% in the last 24 hours. We've seen a sluggish move to the downside for both these assets within the last couple of days. We will be doing some Bitcoin analysis at the end of today's stream to see what's really going on there. But first of all, we need to take a look at the cryptocurrency news. So let's set up the stream all perfectly and then we can get started. First of all, we are talking about SBF and Alameda Research is in another article. James Street as well. This is all SBF related. We'll discuss the story now. So, SBF's lawyers said in a filing that the initial charges against the crypto founder were vague and non-specific charges. Now, SBF has been charged with many different counts of many different problems. We've seen him be charged with conspiracy of wire fraud, actual wire fraud, conspiracy of securities fraud, actual securities fraud, many different problems, and his lawyers are trying to get him to worm his way out of 10 charges. Now, as we said in yesterday's stream, we actually did predict this here on the channel. If you want some predictions that may be shocking, make sure to subscribe. When FTX first stopped withdrawals back in November 2022, we had that Martini guy on the channel. He predicted, one, that FTX could be used to rebooted and used as an exchange once again. And the new CEO has said he's not ruled that out of the question because they have the liquidity and the infrastructure. And the second prediction was that SBF would somehow manage to wriggle himself out of all these problems. And this is what could be happening right now. So we want to keep a close eye on this. We will be keeping you up to date on this story here on the Crypto Saving Expert news shows. So don't forget to hit subscribe if you are new here. Next, we are taking a look at Jane Street and Jump Crypto as they retreat from US markets amid intense regulatory crackdown. Now, this is somewhat related to SBF because Jane Street is actually where SBF started his financial career. But what's happening here is two leading market makers are leaving the US crypto market amid regulatory pressure and uncertainty. So market makers are companies or individuals that buy and sell assets immediately, very, very close to each other. So they might buy Bitcoin at $30,001 and sell, no, that was a stupid example, 30,100 and sell at 30,150. So they make a small profit, but they continue to put those orders in over and over again. And when they continue to do so, those profits rack up. And also they're providing liquidity in that market. They're creating those orders in that order book. So that is what we are seeing here. And now we are seeing market makers move out of the US because of the regulatory crackdown. So let's take a look at this. As I said before, Jane Street is actually where SBF started his financial career before moving on to arbitrage trading Bitcoin and moving on to FTX. Let's take a look at this article. So two leading market makers are leaving the US crypto market amid regulatory pressure and uncertainty. Crypto exchanges in the US are now facing an additional challenge as two leading market-making firms, Jane Street and Jump Crypto, are set to cease trading there. And Bloomberg has reported that both firms are retreating from the US market amid the growing regulatory crackdown and concerns. So they've said the regulatory uncertainty in the country has made it difficult to operate under internal standards. According to the report, the firm, which has been trading cryptocurrencies since 2018, intends to leave the US and scale its operations globally. Taking a look at the other company, the other market maker firm, Jump Crypto, they plan to further its operations outside the US, and crypto exchanges in the US, including Coinbase, have had to deal with the enforcement actions from regulators. We all know about the regulators here not here in the US, over in the US. There's not much clarity on the regulation. Many different cryptocurrency companies are looking at shutting down their services in the US and aiming their services into other areas, particularly in Asia. So this isn't the first we've seen. We are now seeing this affect market makers as well, though. We will be talking about market laters as well later in today's video, where we talk about The arbitrage opportunity in Binance.us. Bitcoin's been trading at $700 higher on Binance.us to other exchanges. We will get onto that later in today's stream. That is an exciting one that we're keeping towards the end of the stream, so make sure to stay tuned. Let's take a look now at the chat quickly. Jason Smith said 3,000 subscribers. That's a result of your hard graft, Jess. Thank you very much, Jason, for joining us here every single day without fail. I really appreciate it. I always recognize the names in the chat, and hopefully we continue to grow. Also, while we're on the topic, I've still got some of these goodie bags to give away. So if you want to win one of these, go over to our Twitter and engage in some of our tweets, and you can get one of these goodie bags. I mean, I've taken all of the stuff out of it now, but you get a coaster that looks like this. You also get a nice fancy pen. We also have some air fresheners that I've put in my car already, and we have some notepads. They usually come. This is what they come like. This is how useful they are. You usually get them like this thick, and they've got loads on, and I've literally got a little bit left of mine now. So definitely, if you go over to our Twitter and engage enough, and you're based in the UK, we'll send some of those over, or just messages on Twitter, and we can see what we can do, see how many people message, and see if we've got enough to all go round. Anyway, let's go back to the cryptocurrency news. I wish I brought a coffee again. I forgot a coffee yesterday as well. Let's take a look at this news here. We have Bitcoin Ordinals inscriptions doubles to 5 million in 8 days amid BRC20 frenzy. So let's take a look at this. The emergence of BRC20 tokens has increased activity on the Bitcoin network, driving the number of Ordinals inscriptions to higher levels. Now, the number of Ordinal inscriptions on the Bitcoin network has surpassed 5 million, more than double the 2.5 million count recorded just 8 days ago. So that is a massive jump, and the remarkable growth pace can be attributed to the emergence of the BRC20 token standard, which has caught the meme coin mania that has engulfed the crypto space. So the meme coin season has absolutely exploded within the last couple of days. Now, obviously, I would say as of yesterday and this week, it started to calm down slightly. However, we have still seen a lot of excitement in the space. Some people are starting to predict that the altcoin season is starting to come to an end. However, some others believe that we've still got many more weeks to come. I would say on this, it's a very hard one to tell because obviously meme coins have no real world utility. I've just closed the article that I was reading. Have no real world utility. They are just a token where their only purpose is to be traded. Which brings a huge amount of risk because you can't invest in something like this for the long term. When you're trading meme coins, just like with every market, some people will win, some people will lose. The money doesn't get created out of nowhere for somebody to make money. Somebody else has to have lost money. So we do need to be incredibly careful when trading meme coins. It can be a lot of fun, but it can be a very high risk. I'd say one of the big riskiest things in cryptocurrency. However, they are very enjoyable. And throughout this craze around meme coins, many different projects have had their time to shine and gained a huge amount of adoption. And now we are seeing people take advantage of the where's it gone? Am I on the right article now? Or we've swapped to a different article. Here we go, of the BRC20 token standard. So we've seen a huge amount of development of these BRC20 tokens trying to take advantage of this meme coin season. And we can see here the Ordinals protocol allows users to inscribe data in text, images and videos in the witness portions of BTC transactions, leading to the creation of Bitcoin NFTs. And launched in January, the protocol has spiked a significant increase in activity on the Bitcoin network as users scramble to number Satoshis, the smallest denomination of Bitcoin, on the blockchain via the Taproot soft fork. So we have seen a huge amount of adoption of these. We've seen more than 86% of the artifacts created on the Bitcoin network being text-based inscriptions, and they've become the most popular. So if you want to learn more about these and you want to know a bit more about, you may be listening to this and thinking, I don't even know what a Bitcoin ordinal is. And if that is you, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com. And if you go to guides here and you scroll across to encyclopedia and you go to ordinals, let's go to O, you can find that we have ordinals on this encyclopedia. Let's find it. Where are we? Here we go. Ordinals. We can read more. We've got a whole article on it there. And also, if you go back to the encyclopedia, you see that every single definition has a short video created by myself as well. And that's like a huge amount of time. There's literally about 400 definitions in that encyclopedia. Every single word that you can think of that's related to cryptocurrency, or that we could think of that is related to cryptocurrency, is in that encyclopedia. And I think they've got a whole backlog of like 50 more that I need to film today as well. So there are many more to be added, but we have it all covered on the Crypto Saving Expert website. So if you do have any friends as well that wants to get into crypto and they don't know where to start, everything on there is completely free, so you're not making them lose anything. They just go and try it out. Also, let's take a look now at the next article. Let's move on. Let's see what else is going on in the world of crypto. We've got one more article on Bitcoin Ordinals. So they are to debut on Binance's NFT marketplace. And they've recently been accused of causing network congestion and high fees on the Bitcoin network, but Binance will continue to support Bitcoin Ordinals and NFTs. So this will begin in May. So they've not given an exact time, but it's expected to be, and users can participate in a special registration event from the 9th to the 15th of May. So that we are in that period right now. It seems like it could be a short-term thing where I don't mean a short-term thing, I mean it's somewhere in the near future that these are going to launch on the NFT marketplace, and when it does, it will probably drive adoption even further. And we are seeing a lot of excitement around Bitcoin Ordinals at the moment. We have been for a couple of months now, since back in January. But these network congestion and high fees on the Bitcoin network are what is causing a bit of concerns around this technology. But let's move on to the next article here anyway, and see what else is going on in the world of crypto. If you are enjoying today's stream, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. We do these live streams every single weekday, and we currently have 3,000 subscribers as of this morning, so thank you very much to those of you who have already subscribed, and please subscribe if you haven't. Let's move on to the next piece of news here. Let's go on to the cryptocurrency news, see what else is going on in the markets. Peer-to-peer Bitcoin marketplace Pax4 resumes operations after a temporary halt. So they've resumed day-to-day operations on its marketplace. There is no indication that its co-founders have settled their bitter dispute. So this is the Bitcoin marketplace, and they've resumed operations after an indefinite suspension that lasted over a month. So they halted operations made on 4th of April, citing key staff departures and regulatory challenges for the crypto industry. And during the announcement, the platform's CEO failed to disclose the reason behind the pause and was unsure if the exchange would eventually resume operations. But now, on Monday, the exchange announced that it had resumed its day-to-day trading activities and had brought the marketplace back online. So it's worth mentioning that while the marketplace was away, the Pax4 wallets remained operational for users who sought to withdraw their funds, and the CEO encouraged users to explore self-custody options and recommended other marketplaces offering similar services. So that is a huge deal, to be offering other services. Offering competitors to your cryptocurrency users is a shocking thing. Obviously, this must have been a big feud between the Pax4 co-founders to go as far as offering the competitors' services instead of your own. And we can see here, while Pax4 has resumed operations for the marketplace, it remains unclear if the exchange's co-founders have settled their dispute or ended their ongoing legal battle. So that is what we are seeing here. Former employees disclosed that the co-founders' relationship has been strained for a while, and the business had suffered managerial lapses. So interesting debate there. Obviously, there has been regulatory concerns around this as well, and that caused a huge amount of problems, as we are seeing over and over again. Honestly, some days I think I come on these live streams and I repeat myself so much because everything is about the lack of clarity around regulation. The whole space is being affected by this. Many different cryptocurrency companies are being affected by this. And it's just something that we are trying to deal with here, but we just need to continue to see how this plays out. Next, let's move on to the next one. Now, this news is a pretty interesting one. Now, speaking to that Martini guy about TAP and XTP, because this XTP did see a pretty big fall in the last couple of days. Now, he has said this is potentially, not definitely, but potentially due to Bittrex, people getting confused between Bittrex and Bittrex Global. Now, Bittrex has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in Delaware less than a month after the SEC charged the platform for operating an unregistered securities exchange. And now people are obviously selling their assets on Bittrex Global as well, if any of you are wondering what his opinions are on that. But we can now see that Bittrex is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, as a result of the SEC charging another cryptocurrency company of offering unregistered securities. I feel like I'm a parrot repeating myself on that sentence. That is coming every single week. Another cryptocurrency exchange being accused of offering unregistered securities because of the lack of clarity around regulation around regulating cryptocurrencies, and because we use the Howey test to determine whether an asset is a security when the Howey test was created in the 1940s, and it does not fit the model of this new technology. So these are the problems we are facing within cryptocurrency yet again. More problems to come, but we've now seen Bittrex file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Not the first, won't be the last. We've seen many companies file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy throughout 2022, and we are still going to see this take place as we see this lack of regulatory clarity in the US. Now, Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, has been trying to push for regulation in the US to become more clear. He's been trying to push for many positive things within cryptocurrency. I've become a huge fan of Brian Armstrong within the last couple of months. I mean, I was neither here nor there, but I've seen the actions he's made for the cryptocurrency industry in the last couple of months. And I think he's trying to do his best for the industry and making big strides forwards and making all of his opinions public. That's really important. So he's trying to push for clarity within the US, and he believes that it is coming within the next couple of years. Now he has conversations with all the right people, so hopefully his actions will be responded to and he will help move the space forwards. Let's keep an eye on that though, and let's move on to the next piece of news before we forget. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. Let's take a look at what is going on here. Bikeman says, great review as always, Jess. Thank you very much. Yorkshire Pork said, I moved my Tap from Bittrex to the Tap app. Yeah, I use the Tap app as well. I don't use Bittrex. I like to see an order book, which is why I like to use exchanges like Bittrex. But the Bittrex is different to Bittrex Global. Tap is available on Bittrex Global. Bittrex is the one that's just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. But it may have caused some confusion and may be the reason why we have seen a little bit of a sell-off there. Let's take a look at the next piece of news here. We have 26% of family offices across the globe invest in crypto, according to Goldman Sachs. So the number of family offices invested in cryptocurrency have increased in the last 2 years. Still, those that aren't interested or invested in digital currencies are still on the rise, according to a survey reported by Goldman Sachs. So we are definitely seeing some adoption of cryptocurrency. If you want to take a look at all the figures in here, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com and press that big news button at the top, and you can get access to all of the latest cryptocurrency news. But we are going to move on quickly from that article and go on to the next one here. The Solana-based Saga mobile phone now available to everyone. Now, Solana are making big news, and this ties in with the Solana event that is currently taking place in Taiwan, I believe. Some of the Crypto Saving Expert team are out in the Solana event over in Taiwan right now, reporting on what's going on over there. We have now seen the Solana-based Saga mobile phone now available to everyone. So they're making big announcements there as well. If you want to learn more about that, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com. It looks pretty nice, to be fair. Nice and slick. If you want to read more about that, make sure to go and check out the article. But let's move on to the next one. Former Coinbase manager bags 2-year jail term for insider trading. So somebody who was a product manager at leading cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase was listening to what tokens were going to be listed on the exchange and front running those and buying those assets prior to the announcement, and then when the cryptocurrency price increased due to the announcement of it being launched on Coinbase, they were selling for a nice profit. Now, so they've made a huge amount of money from this, and we have to remember during the 2021 bull market, when tokens were announced to be listed on Coinbase or many major exchanges, it wasn't uncommon to see huge gains for that token. I would say that it definitely has a little bit of a smaller effect on the markets now than it did during the bull market, and it's something that I imagine will continue to affect the tokens in the future. It will probably start to have a bigger effect on tokens again during the next bull market. But right now, obviously, everything's kind of condensed and nothing's as volatile as it was within the bull market. However, this guy's made a huge amount of money. The trio have made $1.5 million through the scheme and now face 2 years in jail. So we can see here that he has said, I made a huge mistake that will follow me for the rest of my life. So that is what's going on there. If you want more detail on there, make sure to go to the Crypto Saving Expert website. JB has just put in the chat, Jess, is great to get concise, regular news on a daily basis. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, JB, for that compliment. I'm going to screenshot all these and send them to Jordan. Maybe he'll let me keep the super chats. I won't really. Let's take a look at the next one. We've got Canton Network, the digital asset blockchain, aims to become the financial hub for institutions. So financial technology company and the prominent market participants announced the Canton Network, the first privacy-enabled interoperable blockchain network developed for institutional assets and designed to build the base layer for synchronized financial markets security. Now this is interesting because this ties into a conversation that we had in the stream yesterday, and this was about the financial markets upgrading and improving and using new technologies. It doesn't always have to be crypto against the rest of the world. We can use blockchain technologies in different things. And now we are seeing we're reporting on the Canton Network today, which is aiming to become the financial hub for institutions. So trying to get that blockchain technology adoption in the traditional markets as well. Definitely an interesting news article here. So if you do want to read about this, make sure to go over to the website. But let's move on to the final piece of news today. This is a really interesting one. We have kept this till the end because I thought it was particularly interesting. We have here that Binance.us Bitcoin's been trading at $700 higher on Binance.us compared to the average rate of Bitcoin here. So one theory is that the premium rate is potentially due to rumors of market makers exiting the crypto exchange. Now, we did read earlier in today's stream that Jane Street and Jump Crypto retreat from US markets amid intense regulatory crackdown, and these are both market maker companies. So what we are seeing here is market makers are moving out of the US, and that is causing the prices to differ slightly. Now, a $700 premium on Bitcoin is a huge value, especially at the current rate of Bitcoin. So we can see here, Binance.us shows that Bitcoin opened the day at 28,158 with a high of 28,514. But what was happening on other exchanges, particularly on the regular Binance platform, so not the US arm of the company, we can see here that the day opened at 27,668 and was at a high of 27,353. So there's definitely a big difference there. Whether it's down to the market makers exiting the US is pure speculation, but it's definitely a good reason as to why this is the case. If anybody has access to Binance.us and Binance, it may have been a brilliant arbitrage opportunity. So this is an opportunity as to where you can buy Bitcoin on another exchange, send it to Binance.us, and sell that Bitcoin for $700 higher, and just continue to rinse and repeat that strategy until the arbitrage opportunity starts to slow down and they start to become more equal. So I wonder how many people actually manage to take advantage of that opportunity. These are the opportunities that come around in cryptocurrency, and they're very easy to capitalize on, but you just have to start work straight away. You can't just leave it a couple of days, and you have to be able to act on these actions really quickly, and that is how you can make lots of money within crypto. But let's take a look at the next article. We are taking a look now at the price of Bitcoin and seeing what's going on in the Bitcoin markets. We can see here that Bitcoin is currently trading at $27,600, and we can see here that it is still below the level of support that we had, so we will be looking at that in a second. First of all, let's take a look at the RSI. The RSI is particularly neutral, if anything slightly oversold, and the MACD on the 4-hour chart is looking that it's about to tick into bullish momentum. Now, this has been showing bearish momentum since the 6th of May, midday on the 6th of May. So it's been 4 days of bearish momentum on the MACD here, and it's starting to show actually that could start to turn now, and we could start to see some bullish momentum. So let's take a look at the levels of support and resistance we have here on the chart. We have a level of support down between the $26,900 and $26,600 level. Now we have a level of previous support and resistance between the $27,700 and $27,900 level. Currently, this is acting as a resistance once again, but with those bullish indicators, could be a sign that we are oversold at this point, and we could start to see a move to the upside. Now, if we do, then we'll be looking at this zone of resistance that you can see has acted as a resistance many times in the past, and this is between, let's get the value of this zone, we have a price here, let's get this right, of between 28,600 and 28,800. So that's the level of resistance I'm looking at if we manage to break back above this zone and see a candle close above that zone, because as I always say, I always look for a candle close. I don't just look for immediate price action, because we do see wicks all over the place, especially in the volatile markets of cryptocurrency. So if we see a 4-hour candle close above this zone, then I will be feeling more bullish, and there will be a higher probability that we will be touching that higher zone as well. But that is all obviously my own opinion. Nothing is financial advice here on the channel. But that is all we really have for today. So thank you very much for joining in with us. As always, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell notification button. And I will see you in the next one. See you all back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. BST time. Goodbye. See you then. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. That's all for today. Goodbye.